The search for 8-year-old Ashley Fiona Munger and 7-year-old Jack Craig Ainsty began last night. The girl's mother and the boy's father, a de facto couple from Perth, had been trying to cross the Blackwood River about 6 o'clock when their four-wheel drive became stuck. The vehicle began filling with water. The parents tried desperately to free the children in the back, to no avail.
They've tried to get everybody out of the vehicle, but as soon as the water got in the vehicle, it went down very quickly, and both the male driver and the female passenger were lucky to get out alive themselves.
Local residents heard the pair's frantic cries for help.
So I went outside and then I knew that it was a problem, and I went in the car down there to see if I could help, and I couldn't.
Police flew over the area last night using heat-seeking equipment in the hope they'd find the children somewhere along the river's edge. But this morning, police found the sunken four-wheel drive about 30 metres from the Geraldton crossing. The bodies of the two children were still inside. Strong currents stopped divers from getting to it, and specialist diving equipment had to be flown in from Perth.
River crossings are very dangerous the best of times. It's necessary to get out and walk a crossing. If you can't walk a crossing, then you won't be able to drive across it.
Family members are tonight being comforted by relatives and are receiving counselling. It's not the first time motorists have got into trouble here at the Geraldton crossing. Locals say they've had to pull several cars from the river in recent years. They want the crossing blocked off or made safer. Jane Grljusich, ABC News, the Blackwood River. This morning's service on the barren Montebello's 70 kilometres off the WA coast remembered Operation Hurricane, a top-secret atomic test by British scientists. It was the first of a series of nuclear blasts in the darkest days of the Cold War as Britain scrambled to develop a nuclear capability like the United States. On October the 3rd, 1952, the River-class frigate HMS Plim was vaporised by a kiloton nuclear bomb. Observing, thousands of Australian and British servicemen lined up on more than 12 Navy ships. Some watched from nearby islands, the only warning they were given to turn their backs and cover their eyes. The gigantic column of grey mud and sand, rising 15,000 feet and a mile wide, was visible in Onslow, 140 kilometres away.
We were out in the yard waiting, and sure enough the bomb went off, and it was a kind of a big rumble, and strange as it may seem, the ground shook.
Today, some of the servicemen claim they were exposed to dangerous levels of radiation and are fighting to be recognised as war veterans so they can claim medical benefits.
Mainly leukaemias, the bad cancers. A friend of mine, Frank Gray, who's secretary of my association, he died with cancers and a particular cancer of the eyes.
The Australian Veterans Review Board recently held an inquiry into the effects of the British atomic tests and is due to report next month. Australian survivors are hoping it will lead to the recognition they've been seeking for 50 years.
We were never told that there was any danger. And even looking back on the films that were put out by the government, it was always said that there was no danger to the troops. That was a blatant lie.
Jane Grljusich, ABC News, the Montebello Islands. Geraldton lobster boats returning with their catch used to get up to $36 a kilo for their crayfish. But with the outbreak of severe acute respiratory syndrome in Asia, keeping people away from restaurants, these lobsters will bring much less.
Well, I personally, having fished for a long time, never thought that I would live to see the day to see $14 a kilo again for lobsters.
It's claimed the cost of putting to sea is beginning to outweigh returns, and with this season under a cloud, some in the industry are already looking to next season. Early this week, the Rock Lobster Council considered a controversial plan to close the season early.
Product that is coming in now had the potential to be going into freezers and still be in storage when the new season opens up next year.
There was concern the stored crayfish would produce a market glut next season, keeping prices down. But the idea of closing the season early brought a backlash from fishermen and was rejected by the council. It's now up to individual operators to weather the storm. Fishermen are hoping the price will improve before the season finishes at the end of June. Jane Grljusich, ABC News, Geraldton.